tell you when. You can probably talk it. No, wait for them.
The title of the next program is the Hayagreeva Araiyar Seva. Araiyar Seva is a traditional way of rendering a stotram with musical notes and Natya Abhinayam. This is typically performed in front of the lords in temples. The subject matter that has been taken up by the kids is Lord Hayagreeva, and they will be rendering this Araiyar Seva using Hayagreeva Stotram.
So, while we wait for the next program to set up on stage, somebody came up to me and asked an interesting question. So maybe, Pavanya, you have an idea about this. They looked at Avadhanam and said, these kids are so brilliant, they're so smart. So can anybody guess the percentage of brain we actually use on a day-to-day basis? What percentage of your brain are you actually using when you go through your day-to-day activities? So Pavanya, what do you think?
Maybe about 75, 80%.
75, 80%. Interesting. Do you want to take another guess?
I think it's greater, so maybe 90%.
Wow. You have a lot of expectations from humankind. Guess what? We use a maximum of 5% of our brain when we go about our activities. Whenever we expose ourselves to some of these unique functions, whenever we expose ourselves to education from our Vedic learning, we get an opportunity to expand our brain and our knowledge. Just imagine if you're just using a maximum of 5% today, if you can add just 1 or 2% more, what wonders you could do. So what you saw actually during the Avadhanam, that is Swamiji actually providing blessings for the great team. And I'm sure all of you were mesmerized by the great music, the diction, and the presentation. So while we think through that, maybe I should ask you both another question. Amrut and Pavanya, you've been attending these programs since yesterday. I know you've been actually watching some of these programs. So are there any new ideas you want to share? I mean, from a youth perspective, what are you seeing? What are you thinking?
Well, that's a really good question because with the blessings of H.H. Swamiji, we have the idea of starting a youth newsletter that we have been working on in the youth forum, which is about to come. And in that newsletter, we are trying to connect the youth from all the different chapters. So I am in the chapter of North Carolina, and there's people in the chapters in California, but there's nothing that connects us. So I went to Swamiji and asked him if we could start a newsletter to spread the word about things that are happening in California, things that are happening in Florida, things that are happening in Denver, places so that if something really works out in one place, we can do it in a different place, and then we can all be connected, and I think that would really improve the way that JET functions and everything. So we started a blog the other day. It's jetyouth.blogspot.com, and it's temporary because we're still working on the actual newsletter in the youth forum. But so all the youth out there, please attend the youth forum so we can discuss more about this newsletter. It's going to be really great, and it's going to be the first newsletter of its kind. So we'd really appreciate all the help we can get.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Jai Srimanarayan.
If you forget, I will kill you. Like, literally. Yananandam 2 times. Supraja. Yananandam 2 times.
You can start.
Yananandam 2 times.
Okay. I'll give you this, then you can start.
Ananya Ramanan. Yananandam 2 times.
Guys,
So let's start the next part of the program. The next program is, the title of the program is Hayagreeva Stotram in Araiyar Seva format. Araiyar Seva is a traditional performance art that is very popular in the southern part of India in temples. It is traditionally done by taking the Divya Prabandham and enacting that along with the music that go with it. Tradition has it that Swami Nathamunigar, when he first went in search of the 1,000 Thiruvaimari, he ended up in Tirukkurur and really asked and requested the people out there how to get those, and they told him by doing the 12,000 avartis of Kaninun Chiritambu, Nammarwar will come in front of him and will be able to give him. So based on that, Nathamunigar did the 12,000 avartis of Kaninun Chiritambu and actually procured not only the 1,000 Thiruvaimari, but all the 4,000 Divya Prabandhams, and in addition, he also got the Yoga Shastra from him. In Thiruvaimari, many places, Swami Nammarwar says, the best way to pray to the Lord is to sing and dance. And so, in that tradition, Nathamunigar, very first, he created musical notes and then followed it up closely also with abhinayams and mudras. And he taught that to his students, and till date, that tradition continues. If any of you had the fortune to go to Srirangam temple, you can see the Seva done in very, very nice format. It is also there in Srivilliputtur and also in Alvar Tirunagari. So these three places, they have continued the tradition very well. There are other places also. So based on that particular format, you will see that in today's presentation, our kids have chosen Hayagreeva Stotram, which they are learning as part of Module 3 in Pragya. And they have taken up that topic to present in the Araiyar Seva format. So the kids that are sitting in front would be singing, and the two kids on the side will be doing the Abhinaya. Initially, we started off this particular presentation only as musical note, but then Sharda Amma told us it would be a good idea to present this thing in an Araiyar Seva format. So this is an attempt from us for the first time. These kids are obviously not professional kids. They'll do a fabulous job, I'm sure. Ready? Stop.
Veda
सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे स्वतःसिद्धं शुद्धस्फटिकमणिभूभृत्प्रतिभटम् सुधासदृचिभिः द्युतिभिरवदात त्रिभुवनम् अनन्तैस्त्रय्यन्तैः अनुविहितहेषाहलहलम् हताशेषावद्यम् हयवदनमीडी महिमः समाहारसाम्नां प्रतिपदमृचां धामयजुषां लयः प्रत्युहानां लहरिविदते बोधजलदे कथातत्पक्षुभ्य कथककुलकोलाहलभवम् हरत्वन्तर्द्वान्तम् हयवदनहेषा हल हलः प्राची सन्ध्या काचिदन्तर्निशायाः प्रज्ञादृष्टेरञ्जनश्रीरपूर्वा त्रिवेदान् गातु मे वाजिवक्त्रा वागीशाख्या वासुदेवस्य मूर्तिः विशुद्धविज्ञान घनस्वरूपम् विज्ञानविश्राणनबद्धदीक्षम् दयानिधिं देहभृतां शरण्यं देवं हयग्रीवमहं प्रपद्ये अपौरुषेयैरपि वाक्प्रपञ्चैः अद्यापि ते भूतिमदृष्टपारा स्तुवन्नहं मुग्ध इति त्वयैव कारुण्यतो नाथकटाक्षणीयः दाक्षिण्यरम्या गिरिशस्य मूर्तिः देवी सरोजासन धर्मपत्नी व्यासादयोऽपि व्यपदेशवाचः स्फुरन्ति सर्वे तव शक्तिरेशैः नमो भविष्यन् नियतं निरिञ्चो वाचां निधे वञ्चितभागधेयः दैत्यापनीतान् दैव भूयोऽपि अध्यापयिष्यो निगमानचेत्त्वम् वितर्कडोलाम् उपचारैः हविषं प्रदानैः आप्यायनं व्योम सदा विदत्से यन्मूलमिदृतकृत्वादितत्वं व्यामूलमाम्नाय महाद्रुमाणां सञ्चिन्तयामि प्रतिभादशास्त्रान् सन्दुक्षयन्तम् समयप्रदीपान् विज्ञानकल्पद्रुम पल्लवान् व्याख्यानमुद्रा मधुरं करं ते चित्ते करोमि स्फुरिताक्षमालम् सवेकरं नाथ करं त्वदीयम् ज्ञानामृतोदञ्चन लालसारा लीलाघटी यन्त्रमिवाश्रिता प्रबोधसिन्धोः अरुणैः प्रकाशैः प्रबालसङ्गातमिवोद्वहन्तम् विभावयेदेव स पुस्तकं ते वामं करं दक्षिणमाश्रिता संसिद्ध्वा दिशदैर्मयूखैः सम्प्रीणयन्तं विदुषश्चकोरान् निशामये त्वां नवपुण्डरीके शरद्धने चन्द्र इव स्फुरन् दिशन्तु मे देव सदा त्वदीयाः दयातरङ्गानुचरा कटाक्षाः श्रोत्रेषु पुंसाम् अमृतं क्षरन्तीं सरस्वतीं संस्कृत विशेषविद्वारिषदेषु नाथ विदग्धगोष्ठी समराङ्गणेषु जिगीषतो मे कवितार्किकेन्द्रान् जिह्वाग्रसिंहासनम् अभ्युपेया त्वां चिन्तयन् त्वन्मयतां प्रपन्नः त्वामुद्गृह्णन् सत्त्वमयेन धाम्ना स्वामिन् समाजेषु समेदिशीय स्वच्छन्दवादाः बद्धसूरः नानाविधानाम् अगदिक्कलानाम् न चापि तीर्थेषु कृतावतारः ध्रुवं तवानाथ परिग्रहाय नवं पात्रम् अहं दयाया नानाविधानाम् अगदिक्कलानाम् न चापि तीर्थेषु कृतावतारः ध्रुवं तवानाथ परिग्रहाय नवं पात्रम् अहं दयाया कम्पनीयान् व्यथनीतिभेदैः अलङ्कृष्यन् हृदयं मदीयम् शङ्काकलङ्का पदमोज्ज्वलानि तत्त्वानि संयञ्चि तव प्रसाद व्याख्यामुद्रा करसरसिजैः पुस्तकं शङ्खचक्रे बिभ्रद्भिन्नस्फटिकरुचिरे पुण्डरीके निषण्णः अम्लानश्रीर् अमृतविशदैः अंशुभिप्लावयन् माम् आविर्भूयात् अनघमहिमा मानसे वागीशः वागर्थसिद्धिहेतोः पठनहयग्रीव संस्तुतिं भक्त्या कवितार्किककेसरिणा वेङ्कटनाथेन विरचिता सर्वविद्या स्वरूपाय लक्ष्मी संशिष्टवक्षसे मधुपासन लक्ष्याय हयग्रीवाय मङ्गलम् ॐ हयग्रीवाय मङ्गलम् ஆழ்வாரின் பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீமன்னாராயணா.
Thank you, Pregnant Detroit, for your wonderful performance.